Welcome to Mission Park Cares. Today we're celebrating the very best San Antonio has to offer.
Absolutely, and we're going to have stories about mothers and babies, about keeping them safe and, more importantly, healthy.
And we'll introduce you to the Youth of the Year Award winner.
And Kristin, we also have a heartfelt salute to our military.
Plus, we'll meet an unsung rodeo hero.
And we are so proud to introduce the people who make life better for all of us.
So let's meet a doctor whose heart is definitely in the right place. I'm here with Dr. Ian Thompson. I'm so excited. Now I have a question for you. Don't we already have fetal and maternal care and facilities in San Antonio and medicine for that?
You're right, Kristin. We already, when we say we, the community already has maternal, care of mothers that are pregnant and their babies. But the one thing that we don't necessarily have is a system of care.
Okay.
And that's one of the main reasons why, if you've read the newspaper, listened to the news, that you hear about all the challenges in women's health care, especially for women who are pregnant and their babies. The United States doesn't do a very good job, and part of the reason for that is that we don't pay attention to the entire system of care.
So how will this new center help all segments of our community, and who will it help the most?
So it will fill in some of the gaps that we have challenges for. For example, we have a maternal transport team. Gets in the helicopter, gets in the ambulance, goes out and picks up the mom who's having challenges. Real time brings them back in effectively in an intensive care unit in a helicopter. It will also ensure that we do outreach to folks who may otherwise not have access to care or who require some very specialized care. The other thing that we're in the process of doing is developing a maternal fetal medicine training program. Well, we'll train we call them MFM. These are the ultra specialized obstetricians who take care of the most complicated pregnancies, but we'll also fill some gaps. For example, mental health is a huge problem. You're probably aware of it, not just for children, adolescents, and adults, but it's a huge problem for women who are pregnant. That's what's different.
That's beautiful, and that always ripples over to the children.
Oh, it does.
So important.
Because if you take care of moms well, they have a successful pregnancy, no complications, the babies do well.
Why should individual people get involved with this center to help open its doors?
If you think about the history of Santa Rosa, 154 years ago, the people of San Antonio got together to say, we want a hospital. And the Sisters of Charity of the Incarnate Word responded. In the early 1950s, the sisters stepped up again with the help of the community to build the Children's Hospital. And now what we're looking for is the help of the community in building out all of those components.
We just had a very successful Valentine Gala to get the fundraising rolling. How much more is needed to get everything going with the center?
A shout out to Becky and Greg Kowalski, and you were there as well. It was a wonderful event at the Redberry Estate, over the top. A bunch of people from San Antonio clearly are interested in this. But the lift for this, the people, the facilities, the outreach, being able to provide care for those who may not have insurance, that need the help regardless of whether they can pay, which is the tradition of Santa Rosa. We are a faith-based nonprofit. It's a substantial lift. Now, the Kowalskis have helped substantially in that process, but it's going to be Christus Health, our docs and nurses, and all of our organizations working together, plus the community to make this possible. Because we want to make it not just on a par with other cities in the United States. We think San Antonio is a better place. We want it to be the best.
So people that are listening today and interested in helping, how can they do that?
Well, they can get involved very easily. If you go to friendsfoundation.org, the website that you see on your screen, you can make a contribution. Any contribution, no matter what the size, will make a difference in the lives of mothers and babies in San Antonio. And after all, our children are our future.
Absolutely, they are. Gosh, thank you so much for everything you're doing to spearhead this, and I have no doubt it will be absolutely outstanding, and we are very lucky to have you in San Antonio and everyone, all the doctors, nurses, and the Kowalskis. So
Absolutely.
Thank you for everything.
Kristin, and thank you for everything that you've done as well.
Dick, I'm so impressed with the kids at the Boys and Girls Club.
Oh, I'm telling you, it's unbelievable. And I can guarantee their parents are so proud of what they've accomplished.
Here's a super achiever that has everyone talking.
The Boys and Girls Club chooses one member each year to recognize, and this year's Youth of the Year winner is joining us in studio. Please welcome Philip Lignon along with Dick Tips from Mission Park. Hey, what is up, Philip?
It's nice to be here.
We're so happy you're here. Congratulations. You just won a big award. You won the Youth of the Year award for the Boys and Girls Club here in San Antonio. How did that come about?
It came about with me giving a couple speeches, personal speeches, me coming out of my shell. I'm not really the type of person to be vulnerable, so it meant a lot just being in front of a lot of people saying my speech.
That's hard to do, right?
It really is.
But once you did it, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm really good at this.
Yeah.
So I love that you're involved with the Boys and Girls Club,
Yes, ma'am.
Dick, and this is such an honor for Philip. So tell us a little bit about the Youth of the Year Award and why it's so special.
You know, it's incredible. Actually, when Philip became the Youth of the Year Award at the gala that they had, he was incredible. He talked about coming out of his shell. Not only talked about the Boys and Girls Club, but he talked about his mother, and he talked about his future. And, you know, and he's going to be running the Boys and Girls Club as far as I'm concerned in the future, and he's going to become my new attorney.
Oh, did you know that? He's ready. He's ready. He's 18. You have such a wonderful, bright future ahead of you. You know, for people who are watching right now, maybe some parents and some kids, if they're thinking about joining the Boys and Girls Club, why should they do that? How did it help you?
It helped me make friends. It helped me come out my shell, because if I didn't have the Boys and Girls Club, I don't know where I'd be. I don't know if I'd be the person I am today. It encouraged me to come out, talk to people, and I would say join it, because there's always a person that's going to have the same interests as you. There's going to be that one friend that you're going to rely on, that you're going to talk to, and just going to want you to keep coming back and back and back.
You get to make different friends there. Maybe they're not the same people you see every day at school. You meet a whole new group of people, right?
Yeah.
So what's next for you? Because Dick says you're going to be his attorney. So what's your plans?
My plans is to attend the same college, the same university that my mom went to, which is St. Mary's. I want to go there. Yeah.
It's a good school, and I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will. And Dick, why is this so important for you and Kristin to be involved with this organization?
You know, what's interesting is we've grown up here in San Antonio for, you know, being in our second century business, and the Boys Club is what it was, and now it's the Boys and Girls Club, and the facilities they have and what they do inside those facilities, they create incredible human beings that come out into our community and into our world and do great things, Kimberly.
Well, I just love that you're here, Philip. Congratulations on that big award.
We got a big surprise last week. I can't wait to share it with you. It made me cry.
Here's the story behind America's DNA.
Mission Park Funeral Chapels have been working with a very special artist to support charities right here in San Antonio. And joining us this morning to tell us more is Dick Tips with Mission Park and artist Pinko. Good morning, you two. Good to see you.
Good morning.
It's a fun way to start our Wednesday with you two in studio.
Good morning,
doing
Rebecca.
Big things.
Yeah, we are.
I know you and Kristin have been working with Pinko to support the community with lots of commissions going on, all benefiting charities right here in San Antonio.
Yes,
I mean, we know what's special about his work, but what caught your eye and why did you want to work with him?
Let me tell you how it really began. Pinko was a police officer in the city of Terrell Hills, as well as he has served in the military and the Army. And and what he does is so incredibly special for our community, but for way beyond our entire world is what he really represents to us, to Kristin and myself, and to so many people. So we're very excited to have Pinko, you know, as a friend and as a colleague, and also to share his vision of what he feels like is very, very important, and it's very, very important to us as our family at Mission Park, I can tell you that.
Absolutely, and you're doing such a great job. I didn't realize you were a cop at Terrell Hills, but thank you for your service in the military. I'm a military family myself. That's
thank
a big deal.
I did resign. I'm a full-time artist now,
Yeah,
so
fantastic.
chasing the
He's just
dream.
on standby.
Yeah.
Chasing the
On
dream.
call in case they ever need you, right?
Yes.
Okay, so tell me about America's DNA. I know this is a really great project close to your heart. Tell me a little bit about it.
Being a veteran, I have a heart for veterans, the same as Dick and Kristin and Mission Parks and what they do for the military here locally. But I have created a large American flag made out of resin, which is one of my mediums that I use. And it contains actual blood, sweat, and tears from veterans mixed into the flag of the peace.
Wow.
So the red stripes contain the blood from the military veterans, and the white contains the sweat, and the blue contains the tears. And the ideal is for it to tour, and eventually when it's auctioned off, it's going to benefit multiple veteran charities.
That is absolutely amazing. I mean, I almost got teary-eyed from that. That's very emotional.
It is. Wow. It's a very emotional project to take on, and then it's just a great way to honor our military and the things that they do for us day in and day out.
And where can we see some of your projects around Pinko?
Right now, I've got a solo exhibition going on at the Mosaic Multiplex. It's at 146 North WW White Road. It's a venue space down there. I have a studio and a office there, so you can see me there anytime. But I do have an exhibition there going on until the end of the month, and America's DNA is on display there as well for people to come see.
Fantastic. I know our viewers are going to definitely want to go out there and see it. And I know you brought something in studio today that you want to present to Dick.
I did.
What do we have?
Okay, so Dick and Kristin have been such an instrumental part in getting this project out there. Dick, I would like to present you and Kristin. This is a miniature version, but what's so special about it, this contains the same blood that the other one does. This one is poured from the same resin and contains the same blood from the same veterans. So I named this one Stars and Stripes, Blood and Sacrifice, and this is for you and Kristin.
Thank you,
Thank you, buddy.
You guys have been wonderful.
I had no idea this was coming today, and I'm going to tell you what, this means the world to us and to my family, and you got me.
Oh my goodness!
I love you guys. I love you guys.
Well,
but like I said,
thanks for what you're doing. This represents, the life we live and the country that we're blessed to be in.
Thank you so much.
We are right there with you. This is gorgeous.
And this is just a miniature version. The full scale one is 88 inches across. It's huge. But I just wanted to show my appreciation. I had to keep hiding this from Kristin every time she came over to do a segment for the show.
Gosh,
it's hard to keep surprises from Kristin.
I know, right?
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
You're incredible.
It's our honor on the show to have this be presented in studio. You are one lucky guy, my friend.
I am one lucky guy. We're all lucky people. I'm going to tell you, we're all blessed, and sometimes that word maybe is used a little bit not enough.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Not too much. It's not enough.
Exactly.
And with Pinko and what he's doing with America's DNA and his larger one, he's going to tour all over the country, and we're going to make sure that people get to see it, enjoy it, get their picture taken with it, and Old Glory is really coming on strong. Thank you.
Fantastic.
Awesome. Thank you,
Again,
Dick.
thank you for your service, and of course, thank you. Tell Kristin we said hi for everything you do in our community.
That flag reminds me of so many heroes that have inspired us all over the years.
Dick, here's a story about an unsung hero who's at the rodeo all week.
It's the most exhilarating 8 seconds at the rodeo, the bull riding. And for nearly 50 years, one man has been in the middle of the action. Leon Coffey.
I enjoy it. I'm still an adrenaline junkie. I don't think I'll ever get over that. I love that adrenaline rush.
Leon was born in 1954 in Blanco, Texas. He was no stranger to the world of rodeo as a kid. He competed in all of it, from bull riding to steer wrestling. But after a short stint in the military, Coffey was encouraged to take the bull by the horns in a different way: bullfighting.
Like my dad always told me, he said, don't you never run as fast as you can. You run as fast as you have to. Because as fast as you can may not be as fast as you want to one day.
Coffey was a natural and instantly became a fan favorite of kids of all ages.
Kids and clowns are synonymous. So once you put that makeup on, you've got to assume that responsibility.
His signature act of dancing in front of an angry bull earned him the nickname the Disco Bullfighter.
The good Lord gave me the ability to make people laugh and help people out.
But life as a bullfighter hasn't come without a few bumps and bruises.
I've had my neck broke, my back broke, 14 knee surgeries.
Despite the lumps he's taken, Coffey keeps coming back for more.
I have an obligation to these people. An old man told me something one time, and I've tried to live up to it. He said, with every accomplishment comes a responsibility.
A responsibility to keep the bull riders safe and to entertain his thousands of fans.
I've got a lot of fame and notoriety, but I didn't give it to myself. Those people gave me that. Those people make up that fame. I didn't. They just enjoyed what I did, how I did it, why I did it.
Coffey's career has spanned decades, earning him Clown of the Year honors in 1983 and a spot in the Pro Rodeo Hall of Fame. Today, he still participates in the San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo and is showing no signs of slowing down anytime soon.
And when he takes that ability away, that's when I quit. And he ain't took that away yet.
Leon Coffey and the San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo, a yearly tradition Mission Park is proud to support for more than 70 years.
You know what's so special about this week? 187 years ago, Colonel William Barrett Travis wrote us a letter that we will never forget.
As Santa Anna's army surrounded the Alamo, Colonel Travis refused to surrender. Here are his brave words.
To the people of Texas and all Americans in the world, fellow citizens and compatriots, I am besieged by 1,000 or more Mexicans under Santa Anna. I have sustained a continual bombardment and cannonade for 24 hours and have not lost a man. The enemy has demanded that we surrender at discretion. Otherwise, the garrison are to be put to sword and the fort to be taken. I have answered their demands with a cannon. Not only a cannon, but a cannon shot, and our flag still waves proudly over the walls. I shall never surrender, I shall never retreat. Now I call on you in the name of liberty, patriotism, and everything dear to the American character to come to our aid and help with our dispatch. The enemy is receiving reinforcements daily, and we will no doubt increase to 3,000 or 4,000 in 4 to 5 days. If this call is neglected, I am determined to sustain myself as long as possible and die like a soldier who never forgets what is due to his own honor and to that of his country. Victory or death. William Barrett Travis.
Now, let's take a few moments to remember the Alamo.
More than 180 years ago, the Battle of the Alamo took place right here in the heart of San Antonio. The famous facade was built by early Spanish settlers on the banks of the San Antonio River. The mission was originally home of missionaries and their Native American converts, until the Spanish authorities recommissioned the Alamo as a military fort. In 1835, Texan volunteers seized control of the Alamo and San Antonio as part of the fledgling Republic of Texas. Colonel James Bowie and his Lieutenant Colonel William B. Travis were given command of Texan forces to help protect the Alamo and its 100 men. On February 23, 1836, Mexican General Antonio Lopez de Santa Anna and his 1,500 troops marched into San Antonio to retake the Alamo and recapture Texas. Over the next 13 days, Santa Anna's army swelled to almost 3,100 men. The day before the attack, Travis gathered his men and drew a line on the ground, asking those willing to die for Texas to cross the line and stand beside him. Only one man declined. Within hours, Mexican cannons broke the silence and rocked the walls of the Alamo. By 10 p.m. that night, Santa Anna ceased fire, and the exhausted Texans inside the Alamo fell asleep. At 5:30 a.m. on March 6, the deadly attack began. 3 Texan sentinels outside the Alamo were killed in their sleep. The buglers blasted their battle cry, and Travis marshaled his men, yelling, "Come on, boys! The Mexicans are upon us. Let's give them hell." Inside the fort, the Texans ran out of resources. They began filling their cannons with horseshoes, nails, door hinges, and any metal they could find to help repel Santa Anna's surging forces. During a second wave of attack, Travis was mortally wounded. While leaning over the walls to fire his gun, he fell back, drew his sword, and stabbed a Mexican officer while a sea of Mexican soldiers scaled the Alamo walls. Then came a third and final assault. Drastically outnumbered, the defenders of the Alamo had no choice but to retreat toward the chapel and the barracks. As Santa Anna's forces took over the Alamo, he turned his attention to the Texans' flag flying above the walls. 4 Mexican soldiers died as they raised the flag of Mexico above the fray, and they began to slaughter the remaining Texan volunteers. Bowie was among the last killed. He fired his pistol from his cot and died clutching his famous knife. The last of the Texans to die were the 12 men manning the cannon in the chapel. By 6:30 a.m., the battle was over. For the next 15 minutes, Santa Anna's troops continued to fire into the dead bodies. The brutal cruelty of Santa Anna during the Battle of the Alamo inspired farmers, ranchers, and settlers around Texas to take up arms and join the rebellion. Less than 2 months later, Remember the Alamo became a rallying cry as Texans soundly defeated Santa Anna and his forces at the Battle of San Jacinto. The proud Texans once again raised their flag proudly above the Alamo walls and still do today.
Thank you for joining us here on Mission Park Cares.
And we love sharing great stories about great people right here in San Antonio, Texas.
And we count it a privilege to keep those memories alive of your family and friends.
Please remember that we always love you, and at Mission Park,
It's our mission to care.